This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
Hello and welcome to Superfans. My name is Dave Oster. This is the Chicago podcast where we talk everything Chicago sports. Sitting across from me is the original man-child himself, Ricky Widmer.
What's up, guys?
And the one, the only, Sean Anderson.
Hey,
I don't know what to call for you anymore. I don't know your intro.
I forget that because I'm usually hosting when I do these things. I forget I have to say something.
True.
Like witty and fun.
Yeah, I've been saying the same thing for 8 years.
And you can't say dub the knees anymore because Mark's not here.
No, I guess I can take it, but I don't really like dub the knees.
Mm-hmm.
No offense,
You
Mark.
just said it to
It worked. It worked.
Yeah.
It was better when I was filling in for Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, this, as I mentioned, is the Chicago podcast where we talk all Chicago sports. Today we've got a loaded lineup for you. And as a bonus, we are also live on Twitch, something new we're doing in 2020. Super excited. We've got about 12 people in Twitch right now. I don't even want to recount. I'm just laughing.
No. Just for 2020. Yep. 2021, we're back to the old.
Yeah, fuck
Just
it.
for 2020.
Just for
2022?
We're just dipping our toe in the water, Twitch, and we're going to give it a go. We're live.
The way you
2024
said
will
it
be
made
on.
me think like, yep, just 2020.
2024 will be on TikTok only, and by that point, that platform will probably be dead.
I say, does it exist at that point?
Probably not.
Probably not.
We'll move to Mixer at some point. We'll join the Ninja train.
What the fuck is Mixer?
It's what Ninja's on now.
Yeah, it's like what Twitch's abomination.
Let's get into the Superfans.
Anyway, Superfans, our lineup today, because I haven't even read it yet, is I haven't read it out loud to our fans.
There you go. Okay.
God, Sean, quit assuming shit. So our lineup today on Superfans is Luis Robert, the next Chicago superstar. We talked to Chicago White Sox last week. Got a lot of opinions from people. Love the feedback on our team this upcoming season. Second, we're going to hit up, should Mitch be the Bears QB in 2020? Because he played just well enough to apparently secure the fact he will be on the team. The question will be, is he going to be our guy in 2020? And then the Bulls are going to be in some interesting trade talks. Thad Young has already made some public statements about, hey, I'd like to have a better role on perhaps a better team. This isn't the expectations that were set for me. And Sean over here being the wise guy that he is.
Well, Thad Young literally said, like, hey, I don't like my role on the team, and then the next game, he literally got more minutes.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the only job you can be like,
well.
That's literally the only job you can go and be like, hey, I would like a better role, and they're like, oh, yeah, okay, here you go. Instantly.
Yeah.
Instantly.
What are we going to do, play
minutes.
Lowry Markkinen more?
Yeah. Hey, I would like a raise. Oh, okay, cool. Well, paperwork's already done. Paperwork's already done. You're getting more minutes. Congrats, Thad Young.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's something special, but we'll hit that last. So, to start things off, it's a fun topic because, Sean, you're rocking the Sox gear right now. The White Sox have so much young talent, but now that we've added in some serious offseason acquisitions, the expectations have arisen. Mm-hmm. We're expecting playoff hunt this year. I think that's where I still feel comfortable saying out loud. I know Sam had a bold prediction out there from his segment that we recorded last week. Check that out. Great segment. But, Sean, Luis Robert, being one of the top prospects in the minors last year, now signs his deal. He's going to be locked down with the White Sox for the future. What does that mean to you, and what does that kind of mean off the expectations we saw from Eloy last year getting a similar deal?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because the White Sox have been ahead on locking guys up early. They locked up Chris Sale very early into his career, extended him, got him up right away. It was a great deal when it was happening. They had Chris Sale, who was a Cy Young candidate, for like $11 million. Fantastic deal. They did that with Tim Anderson as well. They last year were the fourth team to give out a contract extension to a player with 0 days of MLB service time in Eloy Jimenez. And then they just went back and did it again with Luis Robert. They went out and gave him a 6-year, $50 million deal. And they also has 2 club options in 2026, 2027. Mm-hmm. I would be shocked if they don't pick those up in 2026
and 2027. $15 and a $20 million for respectively.
Yeah. So I think that the club options it could increase the deal to I think 83 or something like that.
Wow.
I'm
still
not entirely sure
if he hits the expectations.
Well, that's the thing is I would be very shocked if they're not picking up those options in 2026 and 2027. So basically, they have him locked up until 2027. And you look at what he's done in the minors, and he is a player that is absolutely, truly a freak. You want to talk about 5-tool players? He has incredible speed, which improves his fielding in a center field range immensely. He is 6'4", like 215 pounds, and I think ran a like 660. Like they timed him. It was something stupid. I think it might have been like an 8.260. Whatever a stupid 60-yard dash time was. Luis Robert ran it. He might come in and might be one of the top 5 fastest players in the MLB. He stole 36 bags in AAA and in the minors last year. He hit 32 bombs. If you listen to the sound the ball makes coming off of his bat, it is juiced ball or not. Scary.
Oh.
He can make contact, 328 batting average. He had an OPS of 100.1, and he's got a decent eye as well. He's going to strike out. He had 129 strikeouts last year in the minor leagues, but I really don't care. I mean, Chris Bryant came up in his first year and led the majors in strikeouts. It doesn't mean you have a bad eye. It doesn't mean that you're a bad hitter. It just means you're getting into counts that you might be taking pitches that are getting you into two strike counts. You might be very patient looking for a certain pitch and being struck out looking. And even if he's super over aggressive,
taking the advantage of being in the minors and swinging when you have the opportunity to.
Exactly, and he still had a 376 OBP. So I like that a lot. I mean, you would like it to be near 400, but the kid's 22. So I look at him, and he's got the ability to make contact. Like I said, 328 batting average. He's got power with 32 bombs. He's got the fielding ability with his speed. His speed's obviously shown by the 32 stolen bases.
Yep.
I forget what the 5th tool is. Power, contact, speed,
defense,
fielding.
Ooh.
What is the 5th tool?
Is that just base running? Is just base running that, and we can just throw that into the...
I feel like I should know this from the top of my head.
Is it arm?
Yes.
It could be arm, yeah.
Okay,
it's arm.
Then I'm iffy on what his arm is then.
Yep.
It throws well, fields well. He fields well, I know that for sure. So at least he's playing out in center field, and I truly think that this guy has everything to be a star in this league. He has the body that is unique. He could be a wide receiver if he was playing in the league. I've heard people like Jason Benetti comp him to, he looks like Terrell Owens when he's looking out there. Just he looks so graceful and effortless when he's moving out there.
Yeah.
And his swing of the bat is just insane. He's got a great stance. He's got a ton of power, and he's gonna probably lead off for the Sox as a guy that can hit 32 bombs this year with his speed. And I truly think that he's going to be a menace, especially if you are batting guys like Yohan Moncada behind him, because you're going to have to pitch to Robert if you are if you want to make sure that Moncada doesn't have somebody on base with him, especially somebody with speed. So I think that this guy is going to have plenty and ample opportunities to attack at the plate, and I think that he can make a true impact on this team this year, and he's only 22. So by the time when we get to 2027, 7 years from now, when he's 29 years old, I don't even want to know what he can be like.
Prime Robert could be disgusting.
He could be a disgusting as a rookie. I mean, I think he's probably the favorite to be Rookie of the Year this year.
Well, I think that was the one question kind of, Ricky, you and I had going into the last week's episode, was the fact that he hadn't signed this deal. There was the question of if they were going to play the shenanigans about if we don't play him in the majors until this point, we have contract control over him for a future date. It was the question of, well, is he going to be as impactful as a rookie if we're putting playoff expectations on this team? Do we want to go get a veteran? And now we've signed the deal. It's very clear that the intention is he's going to be our starter. He's definitely going to get those at-bats, those play appearances right off the bat. What is your take on this situation?
Well, my whole thing, and this is just from reading the article about it, when obviously they said all this was through a translator, but the quote from him of, I'm going to do my best to help this team win multiple championships. I like that, but I don't like it because I know why you're shaking your head, because you kind of know what I'm going to say. I like it because if he's on your team, you want him to have that mindset. But since I'm not a White Sox, I'm going to throw it out this way of, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Like, winning one championship is really hard to do. Let's not, and I'm talking about this from a Cubs standpoint of, we won that one. It's like, great, we can build a dynasty. We haven't been there since. So, that's the only thing where it's like, I know it's a comment just made because you're hyped about the new contract. You're hyped to play. But, I look at that and I go, and this is something that, we even talked about last week with Sam, when Sam's like, oh, we're going to win the division. I was like, oh, that you guys can, but there's a possibility you guys don't. And I don't want White Sox fans to overhype this season and then be upset when the hype level isn't matched.
Right now, the futures are coming out of Vegas, and this is before the Robert extension, but they were putting him at 84 wins. That's very reasonable.
Yes.
That wouldn't win you a division if you hit 84. But even then, there is now after this Robert signing, you have the ability to win near 90 games, and that can win you the division. Winning 88 games.
Is the
and winning
Robert
the AL
signing
Central.
going to matter on the wins and losses though? Because he was still
Yes, because
on
he's
the
gonna,
team.
No,
Yeah,
but he's
but
going
it
to
was
be
a question
playing
of
opening
day
day.
one. Yeah.
So you're going to have him right when the season starts instead of waiting possibly 2 weeks into the season to calling him up, and then that way he gets off to a slower start. I mean, I don't think he's going to come up and start hitting bombs right away. I think it's going to take him a couple weeks.
You got to get used to those MLB arms.
Yeah, so it's going to take him a couple weeks to get ready. Call him up right away and let him work through those issues right away, especially cold in March. Let him start off cold and have him build up, because you know that at some point he's going to be a menace on this 2019 or 2020 team. God, it's crazy. That's 2020.
Right.
This 2020 team, you know that he's going to be a menace on this team. It's just at some point you need him to get through those issues. You need to get through those, those adjustments. And having him have an earlier start is going to matter most. That's why I wanted to have him call up last year, because if you call him up last year, he gets to work through all that stuff and he knows what he can expect coming through for the 162 for 2020.
Yeah.
The thing though that I was talking to you read the article and don't like the quote or whatever about setting expectations too high. I look at that and I literally could care less, because that is just athlete talk, and positive athlete talk means nothing in the world. You are not getting actual insight, because what do you want him to say? I can't wait to be fourth in the AL Central. I can't wait to help strike out 200 times and be a bust.
Ooh.
What do you want him to say? Like,
Can't wait to help this team win.
I can't wait
Boom.
to have
Keep
reasonable
it simple.
expectations and win 83
Keep it
games
simple.
and be one game above 500.
I want to
Can't
thank
wait-
God.
can't wait to help this team
out
win.
there played real well. It's generic.
Exactly. You want to help this team
Yeah.
win championships. That's why you play the game. Hello. I mean, like, that's the thing.
Nice.
Like, I don't want you to. I don't care
to
what he
win
says.
the game.
No offense to Luis Robert, but I care about when I look at athletes and when they speak, I care about when they're speaking either self reflection, as in, I can do this better, or I can improve, and this is how I can improve.
How aware
reflection
are they?
on the game.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson giving insight onto into coverages and what he saw into plays. I care about where their self-reflection lies and how they're going to improve, because that shows that they have recognition, cognizance, and they're not just spouting something that their coach told them. They have something that they're thinking outside of themselves. They're smart players, and obviously Luis Robert has nothing to go off of because it's the offseason. Yeah. Of course he's going to be excited. He's going to be hyped up. He just got $50 million, for Christ's sake. Yeah. So, what do you want him to say? I don't think expectations are too high. I don't think any White Sox fans saw, oh God, we're gonna win the World Series without Luis Robert in 2020. No, my reaction was, thank God the White Sox are one of the best teams at getting ahead of contract extensions. They've done this consistently with their players, and thank God we don't have to wait through service time BS, and we don't have to deal with what you guys are currently dealing on the north side with Chris Bryant, with this whole grievance. It's highly likely that he's going to lose this grievance hearing, that he's not going to become a free agent next season. But I don't even want to have that option. Quit messing around. If he's going to be on your opening day roster, regardless of contract, then call him up. This way we know that he's going to be on the team. Let's go watch him at Guaranteed Rate Field. Let's be excited, because he is going to be a guy that has superstar potential. So I truly think that this is a great move by the White Sox. You are not hurt by this move, because you know that he is going to be a part of your team and that you're going to ride him out for at least 3 years, no matter what, even if he's horrible, because he has this much potential. So this is an absolute smart move by Rick Hahn. There's no negatives to these moves. That's why we're talking about how big of a superstar he can be. Yeah. Because really, end all be all, if this doesn't pan out, they lose $50 million. They still are under $200 million for total salary cap this year. Yeah. So it doesn't even matter if this contract flops out, because it's only $50 million, and to us, that's insane. But to an MLB franchise, especially to Jerry Reinsdorf, who owns 2 major sports teams in the 3rd largest sports market, this is nothing. So this is a great move. Great job by Rick Hahn getting this done, and great job on the agents doing it. Let's go see this kid play ball, because he can be something truly special.
And I think that's the thing to take away is,
Because, like, what? If Chris Bryant came up when he got, he came up in his second week, he was like, I can't wait to help the Cubs win a championship. You think he'd be like, oh, slow your roll there, partner. Hey, 108 years.
I would.
How many times have I heard that?
You're like, cool, this kid has the eyes on his prize.
I would have been like, hey, let's get out of the first round. And then, because that's usually what they did during my lifetime.
What did he do 3 years after he got called up?
Won the whole thing. But it wasn't just him. And the thing with the whole...
No, it wasn't just him, but he's your goddamn best player on that team.
But, like, the whole thing that you bring up, the grievance, which is... I never got mad at teams that were like, hey, we're going to keep you down for the first, I think it's 15 games? Depending
2
on,
weeks,
like...
pretty much.
Yeah, it's the whole, like, service time thing in order to keep the extra year.
Yeah.
I never got mad at that because that's a team playing good business. Like, a team, if you're good enough to keep, of course a team's going to be like, no, we're going to keep you down there.
It's business
so
versus what's best for your guys. And I think that's the difference is,
that season we didn't need them, those 15 games. Like, I'm speaking on our mindset. Then the Sox, I think, would, if the situation was the same here, I wouldn't be upset as a Sox fan if he was down in the minors for 2 years because this season is not a make or break for the White Sox.
But here's the thing is, with the Chris Bryant thing, I don't care if teams hold them down. That's going to be knocked out by the MLBPA and all this stuff over the offseason when the CBA comes up. I don't care about all of that. If the White Sox kept him down, though, I think they would be hurting him. So I don't want them to hurt their players, and it's good to see that they realize that they would be making a mistake by holding him down, and that getting him out there as soon as possible will help him. It clearly didn't hurt Chris Bryant. He won Rookie of the Year, right? It didn't hurt him. He was phenomenal the first year. He finished 11th in MVP voting. It doesn't end up mattering because he's probably going to lose the grievance anyways. The service time is the rules are the way the rules are. The Cubs operated by the rules. I don't want to have a service time argument here.
No.
It's just more about the fact that the White Sox knew that this guy was going to be a part of their team for a very long time.
Yeah.
Make him happy. Make sure that if he is really good, that you're going to be in a good position to bargain and negotiate him when he's a 29-year-old free agency and hopefully a superstar, that you don't have to do this. Because now Chris Bryant, being a Cub, is up in the air because you're not sure if he's going to sign. If he's going to go and chase the money when he does become a free agent because you fucked around with him in 2015. Chris Bryant has clearly been pissed off by that. He's trying to win the grievance because he wants to be able to be a free agent. He wanted to be able to be known that, hey, I wasn't doubted when this team, picked me up in 2015. You might say it's petty. You might say, it's iffy. But it's true that Chris Bryant has shown that he is anti what happened to him in 2015. He knew he was ready immediately from spring training. Yeah. He showed it in spring training.
Yeah.
Luis Robert has shown this in AAA that he can be on an MLB team. He should have been up in September. He wasn't.
Yeah.
Give him the chance right away. I understand your point that service time is service time. Teams can follow the rules if they want to.
Yep.
Absolutely. But I'm glad as a White Sox fan they didn't fuck around.
The big thing, and to get off of the service time thing, is with Luis Robert is what we kind of talked about last week, where the White Sox in the news, and this deal kind of goes against and kind of maybe puts a kibosh on what we were talking about. But there have been, White Sox have been linked to Yasiel Puig. Yeah. They've been linked in the past to making maybe an offer for a Jock Peterson. And this to me is like, with them sending the money and basically locking down Robert, that's to me like, you're not going to get both of those guys. You're probably maybe not even going to get any of them because you're going to be like, fuck it. Let's double it down with the young guys. Well, let's not bring in a Puig. Let's not even try to trade for a Jock Peterson.
Well, now you know that left field's going to be manned by Eloy. You know that Luis Robert is going to man center field. And I think the biggest thing that tipped off that they weren't going to go for a right fielder was not the Mazzara trade, although the Mazzara trade definitely plays into it. It was the Edwin Encarnacion signing because they were looking for a right-handed player, a right fielder to bring power. Jock, Puig, Nicholas Castellanos. Those guys were supposed to bring power to the lineup. Edwin Encarnacion does that. He is, outside of Nelson Cruz, he's hit the most straight 30 home run seasons in the past, 8 years. Cruz has 8 straight 30 home run seasons. Edwin Encarnacion has 6. So you look at that, and that's the reason why Puig and Jock and Castellanos were connected, because they brought power to the lineup. Edwin Encarnacion does that, and I believe that they're going to take a shot on Mazzara because they think that a big part of what he is mentally. What I've heard is that he is a guy that likes to make contact, and he feels he wouldn't be the same player if he was just going for contact. they might try to convince him to become a fly ball hitter, use that power because he is a very good power hitter. So I think they already think that they have the in-house solution there with Mazara. And after this Robert signing, or after the Robert signing and the Edwin Encarnacion signing, I don't think the gap there is in right field. I think it's mainly in the bullpen, and that's where they're going to address next if they do address again, because they've spent a lot, but if they go out and get another piece for that bullpen, it's an A plus offseason. There's no other way to beat around the bush. They hit their number 2 starting pitcher, Dallas Keuchel. They hit another guy in Gio Gonzalez in their starting pitching. They hit a great bench bat in Edwin Encarnacion, or power bat, just defensive DH bat. They went out and got a catcher in Yasmani Grandal. They extended Luis Robert.
They extended first baseman, and I've already forgotten his
They
name.
brought back Abreu, but
This
that
is
was
the
really
second time you forgot his name.
I always forget Abreu.
Truly
I'm off with names, though. That's
I know.
truly unquestioned. Like, if he was not in a White Sox uniform, I would have been shocked.
Yep.
So Sam's got a lineup for you. I'm going to say for you. Number 1, Robert.
Yep.
Then Moncada at 2. Eloy at 3.
No.
Grandal at 4.
No.
Abreu at 5.
No.
Encarnacion at 6. Anderson at 7. Mazara at 8. And then Madrigal at 9. He says that lineup would be an absolute nightmare for opposing pitchers.
Madrigal's iffy. That's the next question. I don't think they're going to extend him like they did Robert, because he is less of a known commodity, at least not in the White Sox organization to White Sox fans. But I don't know if he is truly a guy that should be on their 26-man roster. That's a guy that is really iffy just because he doesn't have massive power, and he's great at not striking out, and he's great at making contact. But what is his ceiling in the MLB? I think that's up in the air for question. I don't think anyone's clamoring. When Luis Roberts just punching balls 500 feet out of the stadium and he's hitting a 328 batting average, he's stealing 36 bags and hitting 32 home runs, it's unquestionable that that guy's an MLB player.
Yep.
Madrigal, it's questionable because he's great at making contact, but what's his true ceiling? So I'm not too sure that he's going to be up on the team opening day. At some point, I think he will be. I hope he is. But I think Robert at 1, absolutely playing center field. 2, Moncada playing third. I think 3, I really would be shocked if they don't bat Abreu there, just because that's where he's always been. I think Abreu will bat third. Grandal at 4, I think, is correct. I wouldn't be shocked if they went Edwin Encarnacion, but you have Robert, who's a righty, then Moncada, who's a switch hitter, then Abreu, who's a righty, then Grandal, who's a switch hitter. I think you're likely going to see that, the 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 5 is Eloy. They batted Eloy consistently at the 5 spot. I think that's where he should be. Encarnacion at the 6 spot, I think, makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Playing DH. Then you have Anderson at 7. It seems like they were very consistent even before they made those additions. I think that's where they want him to be at.
Yeah.
So I think him batting 7th, playing short, would make sense. Mazara does seem to be like he's going to be the right fielder. Second base is up in the air because I don't think Madrigal is going to be there. So I think if they're going to add anybody, I don't think it's going to be in right field. I think it's going to be bullpen and second base. And it's questioning who are they going to bring in. I think Scooter Gennett's still available. He brings a left-handed bat with more pop. If they just want to go crazy power, Scooter Gennett's been able to hit 30 bombs before the season. So
last week we talked about, do they make a deal for Arenado? Because that's another one that we were kind of that it's on the radar. Could come in and play infield, and you guys can mix the infield up however you want.
Well, it would just mean Arenado play third and Moncada would play second, but it's not happening. Like, they just signed Arenado to a crazy long deal, and what are the Sox going to give up? Like, you need to have a headliner of that deal. You're not giving up Moncada.
You're not
giving up Robert. So
you're not even giving up Eloy.
No, fuck no.
Yeah,
fuck no.
So
Madrigal is your headliner. Like
that ain't gonna move.
It might, but you need to add a lot to that deal, and I don't know if it's going to be enough for the Rockies. I don't know what the Rockies really want. I would be shocked if they traded Arenado, and I don't think the White Sox are going to make a play on that. I think it's just too much.
Yeah,
let's go. That's where if you want to say, all right, White Sox, slow down.
We're jumping the shark a little there.
Yeah, like I that's something where it was when the Khalil Mack rumor started floating out there. I was like, there's no way it's happening. No fucking way. No fucking way. And then I didn't even see the Bears link, so I was like, I'm not even paying attention to it. And then when the deal actually happened, I was shocked. I was driving down. I was going north on 90. I was working that day, and I got the notification, immediately punched on the score. I think I was working with a woman, too, at the time, and I was like, I'm sorry, I need to listen to what the hell's happening. So I turned on the score, started listening to what was going on, and it was something that was truly shocked me, because I didn't believe it was going to actually be a thing. If this Arenado thing is going to be real, I will pay attention to it when it's real. When it's actually a deal that's when I'll pay attention to it, because I think it's a ton of BS right now. So I think if you're talking about adding to this lineup, it's going to be a smaller name free agent, probably a veteran bat. Cesar Hernandez would have been an interesting ad, but he's already signed and he's already gotten a deal. Jonathan Scope would have been an interesting sign as well, but he's already gotten a deal. So I think that's why I immediately think of Scooter Gennett. He was healthy last year with the Reds, and then he played for the Giants. But he's been a guy that has had pop before at second base and is a left-handed bat. So I think that's where you would think. I really think Arenado is too much, honestly. So yeah, I think that's where at least I'd be at it. Filling out that lineup, because Madrigal is iffy on if he will be up to start 2020 and when he will even be up and what he can produce.
Yeah, personally, I look at that bullpen and I would wait that one out till closer to mid-year, see how we're doing, see how the team's trending. I don't think. Yeah, but I think that's a position where you don't have to spend during the offseason. You can go mid-season, get somebody on a relatively good deal.
It's true, but also if they went out and signed Daniel Hudson to a 1-year deal for $12 million, I would not care.
No, I wouldn't be angry
because
at all.
It's a left-handed pitcher.
Yeah.
I think he's left-handed. He's a guy that can throw 96. Like, add him to the pen isn't going to be a bad thing. So, and he just won a World
He's got a track record. That's the thing.
He's a former White Sox.
There you go.
Sox.
White Sox.
Sorry, 27 bombs is the career high for Scooter Gennett.
Nice. Let's answer the question to wrap things up. Is Luis Robert the next superstar for the Chicago White Sox?
I think by 2023 he will be the best player on the team. I think he would be better than Yohan Moncada. I think he would be better than Lucas Giolito, Michael Kopech, Dylan Cease, whatever player you want to throw out there.
Yep.
I think he will be the best team of the Chicago White Sox by 2023. I'd be absolutely shocked if he wasn't. If he's not a top 3 team, a top 3 player by 2023 on this White Sox team, that either means we have won 4 championships or 3 championships, or he's a bust. So I truly think it's boom or bust with this kid. I don't think he's just going to be another guy. I don't think he's going to be like Jorge Soler. I don't think he's going to be one of those guys. At least I hope he's not. He could be. He's got great power, very similarly built to Jorge Soler. But he's got better speed, and I think he's got better contact. I think this kid's the cat's meow.
I love it. Ooh. I love it. Ricky, your take. Is he the guy?
He's going to be really good, but I think that if I had to say the next superstar, it's Eloy. Like, I really love what Eloy had last year, and I think that he's going to be – you'll consider him a superstar before Roberts, but they're both going to be there. It's kind of like Chris Bryant and Javi Baez. They're both really good for the Cubs, but like one's better than the other.
I love your Chicago-ness of adding the S to Roberts.
Oh, yeah, no, it's never not going to be Roberts.
I disagree.
Joe Burrows.
S is for everybody.
I love Eloy because he's got such charisma to him. He's got such a bubbly personality. He's got a lot of superstardom in him, but I think that you look at the two players, Robert might have less natural power, but he can put the barrel on the ball more than Eloy can. I think he's got a better eye. I think he'll strike out less. I think he'll have higher contact. He's a marginally better fielder. I mean, I love Eloy.
You just see higher upside there.
Yeah, if Eloy's the best player on the White Sox and Luis Robert's the second best and Moncada's the third best,
we're doing something right.
I'm not gonna complain, but I would be very shocked if Eloy eclipses Robert, but I wouldn't be upset.
Okay.
As long as Robert doesn't suck.
All right, and there you have it. That's our takes on what's going to happen for the White Sox, what their next year is going to look like, and what the next couple of years, because hopefully we're looking at a superstar on a relatively cheap deal a couple of years from now. Let us know what you guys think down below, and thank you guys on Twitch, Sam, Jake, keeping us company in here as we speak. Let's move into our next segment, though. We've got Mitchell Trubisky situation. Trubisky guy. For what feels like the 8th week in a row.
Someone on the score called him True Stinky.
I
love that color. It was great. It was like 6 a.m. in the morning. The guy calls it, that True Stinky guy. It was on purpose, too, which made it better. It was a good zing.
Fantastic. But, unfortunately for us, he's not made this decision easy. We're going into the offseason. He's played good enough to still be in the consideration for being the Bears starting quarterback in 2020. I was kind of on the edge of give me success or give me failure, one or the other, just make it clear.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we didn't see that. We saw good Mitch, we saw bad Mitch, we saw horrible. We eked out a win against a backup squad on the Vikings, which we didn't deserve the win. I'll be honest, Ricky, it was just whatever. But, You're
Didn't care about that game. I
know.
was looking forward to
I know they didn't.
tomorrow
And
Sunday.
They benched people.
4-0, baby. Matt Nagy's 4-0 against the Vikings.
But that is something nice.
Asterisks.
4-0 against the Lions, too.
That's all people are going to remember. They don't know who's actually playing in the games.
1-3 against the Packers.
Nope. Sorry, in Chicago, like that's the
Didn't
one
Lovey get fired for that? Not beating the
Yeah,
Packers?
he went 10-6 and got fired.
Yeah.
He's going to be the Packers.
Yep.
I literally, the Bears have sucked so badly against the Packers.
Oh
in my
no,
lifetime.
we've
It's
sucked
not even
against
funny.
a team with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Oh,
I'm not saying, but no, like
it's not like there's some bums like fucking Tom Brady losing to the Dolphins
No, I
every
know,
fucking year.
I know, but it's been so
15
annoying.
before this last week.
Because
in
we've had-
Foxborough, but in
No,
Miami,
in games that mattered too, though.
oh, I
Like
say,
games that were toss-ups, it didn't matter. Like
in games in
lost
Miami,
before.
he sucked.
Yeah.
That's his shtick. Anyway, this is a Bears topic.
Yeah.
So Sean, I got off topic. I apologize. My passion comes out.
It's all good.
Anyway,
I would just like to at least go 2-0 once against the Packers. We haven't won a game in Lambeau since fucking what's his face? The cornerback. It was the Thanksgiving game. Wasn't Tim Jennings. It was that guy who had the pick six. It was a veteran cornerback at the time he came to the Bears.
what? I mean, early 2000s, was it
No,
orange jerseys?
it was 2015. It was the
Oh
last
my
time they
God.
won in Lambeau. It was post Tim Jennings, but it was very similar to Tim Jennings. And it was pre Prince of Mukamara.
I don't know who fits that window. I'll
You
be
said
honest.
2015?
I don't have a computer I'm
2015
going to use,
Thanksgiving.
so.
Last time the Bears won.
was 17-13.
Hey.
Whatever. I'll find
It
it.
does
Yeah.
not say. It just says Brett Favre and Eddie Lacy. The only two games you gotta mention.
Whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was Brett Favre's retirement,
Yeah.
jersey retirement.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll pull that up. I get the point, though. Beating the Packers would be nice. But as a Bears team, like, we're stuck in this situation, and I honestly don't know. Like, Mitch Trubisky, could he be the guy next year who plays all 16 games for us? Yeah, unfortunately. But, like, going into this offseason, we're looking at names out there who could legitimately be starting quarterbacks on the Bears. So, what you got?
Tracy Porter.
Oh, Tracy Porter.
Tracy Porter. That was it. At least this topic came to me from Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy's horrible 33 minutes and 33 minutes and 35 minute press conference.
Yeah.
That we learned basically nothing from, and it was just a mess. I cannot listen to Ryan Pace talk. I find him to be one of the most boring people in the world. And then when Pat called in, or it was Pat. When Pat called in and did his Brian Pace impression, it was literally my favorite call-in
That was so
segment ever.
scary, spot on. We need
was
to have that off-season chat with him.
So great, and that was the first time I liked listening to Ryan Pace's voice. But Ryan Pace was asked by the press. I forget who asked the question, but it was literally right off the bat. Is Mitch Trubisky the starting quarterback in 2020? And he said yes.
Yep.
Flat out. And I think everyone's reaction is like, oh, God.
Yep.
They're tied to him.
Yep.
They're stuck with him. They want to make him work because they traded up to get him at number 2. They need to make it work. It's all on Ryan Pace's job. And someone that brought a lot of clarity to this, I know that he's kind of hit or miss to some people, but Danny Parkins on the Score drilled it, just nailed it home when he said that, of course he's going to say that because look at the quarterback room. Chase Daniel, free agent. Tyler Bray, free agent. There's one guy that is under contract. That's Mitch Trubisky.
It's hard to argue with that.
And there is no option here. He's going to be under contract, and he's worth $9.2 million. Like, you're not going to cut him.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point in cutting him? So he's going to be your starter because there's no one else to be your starter until you make additions. And you can't even make additions. You don't even know what the free agency pool is going to look like until March.
Yeah.
So why would you come out and be like, no, he's not even our starter? Who is he competing against? That's a worse look. So that was the one thing that I kind of understood, where people were overreacting to that when Pace said that because.
But you read between the lines a little, and it becomes very clear.
We do look at logically.
There's nothing else to
it
say.
makes sense, and then looking into it more, he was then asked about the 5th-year option.
Yes,
and he didn't really answer it. He said, it's something that we're gonna think about. We're gonna keep it in house. We're gonna talk about it. Yada yada yada. He wouldn't say we are picking it up. He didn't say we're gonna decline it.
Yep.
He just said, that's something we're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have discussions about that. We're going to talk with his agent. We're going to figure out what's best for the Chicago Bears. And when they were asked about that, I think it was their postseason press conference last year, if they were going to pick up the Leonard Floyd 5th-year option, they said yes, and they picked it up.
Mm.
When they were asked about Kyle Fuller, 2016, they declined to answer. and they didn't decline his option until April.
Yeah.
That's significant.
So you're saying they're going to decline Mitch's option?
Well, I'm trying to look at what they've done in the past with fifth year options, and they've been very certain on one, and when they have been certain, they've come out and said we are picking it up.
Yeah.
And they did that immediately with Leonard Floyd. They did that. They picked up his 5th year option. Boom. Right? Done. Mm-hmm. What they did right now, at least, and what they're probably deciding is they're going to see what they can add before they need to hit that deadline. Yeah. And back in 2017...
Do we know exactly what date that deadline is?
It's sometime in April. I think it's before the draft. You could look it up. It's very Google.
Yeah, Sean, you're not allowed to look things up because our stream will just lag horribly when you do that.
Oh, really?
Just an FYI.
Oh, okay. Then I have been looking stuff up, so I'm sorry that I'm doing that.
I just noticed that our video went to choppiness. I was like, that's bad.
I have been looking stuff up. So look up 5th year option dates. All the deadlines are CBA stuff. Yeah. But what with the Kyle Fuller thing? Yeah, May 3rd. So they have until May 3rd. That's well after March 15th or whatever when free agency opens. And when you look back at the Kyle Fuller option pickup or not, they declined his option April 24, 2017. 2017, that's when they signed Prince Amukamara.
It's also after the draft, too. It's a week after the draft.
So they went in. Sorry, I got that screwed up with that. But they looked at their options, what they could bring into camp, and they made Kyle Fuller compete, and they declined the option because they didn't want to pay him an exorbitant amount for his 5th year if he wasn't even going to be a starter.
True.
So I think what this is going to be is they're going to look at the free agent class, see what they can bring in, and right now he's a starter, but March 22nd, he might not be.
Yeah.
And May 3rd, he might not have his 5th year option. So what Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy did, although I find them extremely boring, did the right thing for a football team, which was leaving their options open.
Yeah.
And also not crushing the Mitch Trubisky's work ethic, because he still believes that he can be the 2020 starter for the Bears. So I truly think they didn't make a bad move here by saying he's a 2020 starter, because you could change your mind by not picking up his 5th year option. Their actions will speak louder than their words, and I think I was just annoyed by their press conference because I just I didn't learn anything.
It was a nothing burger. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where Chris Ballard took a ton of responsibility in his hour and a half long press conference after the Colts season, where Ryan Pace is just we were grossed,
going through the motions.
So it really, and it was something too that Bears media wanted, because he hasn't spoken since before the season. Yeah. So I think end all be all, Mitch Trubisky right now is the Bears 2020 starter. When we do this in March when free agency opens, it might be a totally different answer.
Ricky, do you have any free agents who you think the Bears should look at?
It's not a free agent. And to me, Sean's going to shake his head, but there's an article by the Tribune that the article...
he's a good writer.
No. It's not about what the actual article's about. It's just the headline is important to me. It says, Bears need to find next Ryan Tannehill, not the next Drew Brees. And the thing that was important, you got to think about Ryan Tannehill, of what it was.
Yeah.
They made the trade in March, which I don't think that the Bears could do, but I don't think they will. They'll do it later in the offseason. But Ryan Tannehill was a guy, was on the outs in Miami. They were not going to pay him.
Couldn't get over the hill.
The guy that I'm going to bring up is a little different in that sense, but contract year, something to prove. Our guy hasn't been proving it, and he went out and proved it. You know who's got that same situation? It's Cam Newton. He's contract year. That right now people are kind of trade him, get him out of Carolina. We'll draft somebody. Bears could do the same thing. You know what? If the price is right, bring in Cam Newton, have him compete with Mitch. And if none of them work out, if the price is right on the trade, that's the thing. The price has to be right and what you're willing to give up for them.
Yeah.
Then if neither of them work out, who cares? You just move on then, and maybe you drafted somebody.
I'm not shaking my head at the name Cam Newton. I'm shaking my head at the fact that you're comparing him to Ryan Tannehill and where Ryan Tannehill was at in his career when he left the Dolphins.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the different part. The same part is a guy who is, and when I saw the next Ryan Tannehill, a guy that right now his team would be open to trading him, who is in his contract year. That's what I'm looking at.
I was going to say, because Cam Newton is a Super Bowl.
He was an MVP.
And that's when you said couldn't get the job done, I said, well, that's where they're different in this situation.
I gotcha. So you're just looking for a player on the outs.
The thing with Tannehill was they gave up on him because they had Rosen, they were tanking, and he kept getting injured. He wasn't a bad player at all. Yeah. He was just injured a ton. And also, Ryan Tannehill, I think really probably if he wasn't in this Titans offense, which shout out to Arthur Smith, I just learned his name today.
Yeah.
Dude's been a fantastic job as their offensive coordinator. He's done a great job. Titans have done a great job at setting up an offensive line. Yep. They drafted Derrick Henry, and he's been a monster. They drafted A.J. Brown, and he's been a monster. And Ryan Tannehill has had great weapons and a great offensive line to help him out. It reminds me very much of Case Keenum's year, the Minnesota Miracle year. It reminds me very much of that year. Offensive line wasn't great, but they schemed right around Case Keenum. They had great weapons around him, and they were able to, improve. And I think that's the thing too. Is I think that nice voice crack there.
Yeah, it was.
Ryan Tannehill, I think, was somebody that people were just like laughing at when they made that signing. If the Bears traded for Cam Newton, that would be major NFL news. And that's the thing that I don't think that's finding the next Ryan Tannehill. That's just finding a guy on a contract year. I think what you need to look for.
Jacoby Brissett could be another one, and if the Colts draft a quarterback like Justin Herbert,
I would be. He's on a contract here.
Yes,
Brissett. What is then the reason to trade him before the season even started? I would say bring Brissett in even into the season, even if you have a rookie quarterback, because if then Justin Herbert outplays Jacoby Brissett, you could trade him in season and get a shit
Plus,
ton.
we don't know what if the Colts go out there and they say, you know what, we want a veteran to be our guy, and they sign one of the veteran. Let's say they sign and I'm just going to throw out the name Andy Dalton, and they believe in him.
Jacoby Brissett's also it was in a bad situation too because everyone got injured, and we talk about Ryan Tannehill having a great offensive line and great weapons.
Jacoby had nothing.
Colts had a great offensive line.
Yeah,
they have a great offensive line.
Yeah,
and they have Marlon Mack, who is decent, also super injured. Outside of that, they have nothing.
T.Y. Hilton, injured.
Yeah. Eric Ebron, injured.
And dropsies.
Yeah, so always. I mean, he didn't have a great amount of help.
I wouldn't move on from him yet if I were the Colts.
He deserves a second.
I think he's outside. Sam,
you can win with him.
Yeah, Sam and Twitch dropped a rapid-fire list of names I want to toss out to you guys. Just quick reaction. Alex Smith. Or whatever's left of Alex Smith.
Right now, he cannot walk, from what I understand, so no.
I want to say no.
Yeah,
I wonder if he'll ever play again.
Yeah, if he's healthy, yes. But I with Ricky, I don't think he's playing again.
Yep. Marcus Mariota?
Absolutely not. Trubisky and Mariota have the same agent, and Mariota, I've said this before, I think, on a podcast. Mariota is very good in the red zone. Outside that, he's very bad. So if the Bears, want to bring him in just for red zone packages,
we need a green zone quarterback to pair with his red zone quarterback. You need a 20 to 20.
Mitch can get him to the 20.
He can get to the 20.
No issues there getting him to the 20. But other than that, that's where it gets difficult. Also, another people were like, bring him in because Mark Helfrich is gone. Yeah. So I do not think that Marcus Mariota is a guy. Yep. That's not a Ryan Tannehill reclamation project.
I would like it because I like Mariota, but no, I don't think it happens.
This next name I actually like a lot. Josh Rosen
hasn't done anything with me. If you bring in Josh Rosen, I feel like there could be this could just be Trubisky 2.0 of like he's not getting it done. Wrong. We want him out of town.
I agree.
Even though I like Josh Rosen.
I don't like the Rosen thing, mainly because I think they should bring in someone with more experience than Josh Rosen. I think you're better off drafting a player, getting a player with a longer contract. He could develop first off with the Bears and not with two other teams. Rosen's gotten dealt a very bad hand. I just don't think that Rosen would be the smartest addition, although I do like him as a quarterback.
I just want him to land somewhere. I think you make a compelling argument that, his timeline and the Bears' expectations.
The Bears would have to trade for him, too.
Correct.
Because he's still at Miami.
And the thing, too, is like, if you trade for Rosen, you can't draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
So if you trade a fifth for Rosen, there's no point because that's pretty much your draft pick. That's pretty much your fifth-round draft pick.
To be fair, the quarterbacks we've taken late in the draft have sucked anyway, so whatever.
Every quarterback we've taken sucked. Name a good quarterback that we've taken that has been good, Dave.
I can't. Literally can't. Case
you want to run down all the quarterbacks? Kyle Orton's our best quarterback that we drafted in my lifetime.
Yep.
Case Keenum's a guy that
Case nice job.
Question. Case Keenum's a guy that he said Case Keenum.
That's the name I like the most.
And then you said Kyle Orton. you need to
Case
scheme.
Keenum is a Kyle Orton.
You need to scheme around
In
him.
the
though.
scheme,
like,
he can win games.
The reason why he worked
then it
with
comes down to
Minnesota,
coach.
Yeah.
the reason why he worked with Minnesota is because Pat Shermer did what you said.
Yeah.
He schemed around and he said, "I'm going to do what's going to make you a good quarterback." And Jake, Minnesota Miracle.
Yeah, he.
I watched
Jake,
I
Jake
watched
with a
it
quick
again
fuck
today.
off.
Hello? Yeah, hey, it's Matt. Yeah, good to talk to you, Pat Shermer. Heard you got fired from the Giants job. I think we're going to bring you in as our offensive coordinator. We'd love to have you on there. Drop a run game. That'd be great. And also bring in an old pal, Case Keenum, in. Sounds good to me. He got fired, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know. I wouldn't be
Because
mad at
Bellamy with the Chiefs he's gonna interview with the Browns and then the Giants.
it. I don't know if it's Bellamy, but I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
the
Eric.
OC from
Eric-
yeah,
I don't know if it's-
Bellamy or something like that.
Yeah.
Bellamy or something.
It's
like that.
not Bellamy. I know
It
that.
looks like Bellamy.
The BEL is in there. But
We give him
yeah,
partial credit.
I don't know if Shermer's going to be a thing, but nonetheless, I do like Keenum. Mobile quarterback. He's worse Alex Smith, but he can walk.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't hate it.
Yep.
If Case Keenum's our quarterback, Bears.
Yep.
But also, it's fine. I think that's the name that I like the most out of all this. You know,
It keeps going. It gets better.
let's throw him out there.
Or worse. The beard. Ryan Fitzmagic.
That's the thing is, like, he can do a job, and he doesn't need a system.
Yeah.
I
So,
wouldn't
like,
be
he-
trading for Ryan Fitzpatrick because that's what you'd have
I
to
think
do.
he's a free agent.
No, he's free
Is he?
right now.
I think he's a free agent.
I don't
They
think
asked
so.
him if he
Two-year
wanted
deal.
to come back, I thought, and he said I would.
I'm pretty sure he's under
Really?
contract.
Okay.
I think he's done. I think he's done after this year.
We're a spot
He's under.
rack?
There's a potential out, but right now he's under contract
Okay.
for 2020.
How much is he getting paid?
$8 million.
So what is the potential out on the club or on
There's
him?
a potential out. So the Dolphins could get rid of him this
Yeah.
offseason, but they're probably not gonna because they're gonna probably take Tua depending on what happens Monday.
Fitz is
an interesting one.
yeah. I just think that with him,
Dude can
like,
sling it.
He could sling it, but I don't think he's elevating you. I don't think he's hurting you. He's
I would
gonna
argue
hurt
he
you.
elevates you. I would argue he elevates you because that Miami team didn't deserve to win a fucking game the
He
way they
puts you
started
in
the
more
year.
danger. So it's do you want to sit in a room with no toys? Like, do you want to sit in a straitjacket in one of those rooms and be Mitch Trubisky, or do you literally want to play Russian roulette with Ryan Fitzpatrick? That's what you're picking. You are picking literally a warded off safety room in Mitch Trubisky. We're not going to talk bad about this kid at all, or we're literally going to put a bullet in
I
6
like that
rounds
we're
and maybe
trending-
you're going to kill yourself.
There'll be a trend here because it continues down
If
this route.
Jameis is on the list, it's an easy.
Jameis Winston,
John
James-
brought him up.
30
Jameis-
for 30. Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I would not. I hate Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston said after the season, I was balling this year. I just got to stop turning the ball over. You think?
Dude, I forgot
He threw
how
30 picks.
horrible of a speaker he is.
Oh my God! 2013 national championship game with,
Yes,
who Tom Rinaldi.
Yeah.
On the game, my cousin in Afghanistan watching this. Happy birthday! That was the best.
Again,
was
I had blocked
dying
out
watching that.
his interviews and hearing him talk at that press conference. I was like, "Oh my god, my
Jake.
brain hurts."
Jake,
The thing
please
is
put
that
Jameis on
he's
the
actually
Bears.
a pretty decent speaker. He doesn't mince his words.
The words he chooses, though.
Yes. Questionable.
Remember when he wanted all the little boys to stand up and not all the little girls?
I don't remember that.
Where he talked to a school and he's like, I want all the little boys to stand up. You guys can be anything you. And it's like, what about the little girls that are there?
Yeah.
I,
you got a
I
little-
don't want crap stealing Jameis Winston. Also, he's got some other
I like the last
hashtag
name that-
off the field
Yeah.
stuff that I don't want to get into. But
Yeah.
on the field, that's just.
But if
that's just
if he
literally
stops
Ryan.
throwing to the wrong team, he's the best quarterback
Ryan
according to him.
Fitzpatrick beat out Jameis Winston. So like, what are we gaining? They both suck.
Here's the thing I
30
love
for
about
30.
the Bucks this year. Every
He's
time
a good coach, though. That's why he went 51,000 yards and 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions, because they should have hired Bruce Arians, and they didn't. They hired John Fox.
That team was so fucking confusing.
So we
this
could
year.
have been better if we actually made a right
any given
hiring
game, they
choice.
could have just blown a team out. The Rams game.
Yeah.
That Rams game was just like, the fuck am I watching?
If you took Bruce Arians and gave him the Bears,
Yeah,
defense,
51,000
Did you
yards.
say
they would have won a Super
51,000?
Bowl.
Did you mean 5,100?
that guy over there.
Did you mean 5,100? Because you said 51,000 yards.
No, fuck it. He threw for
He
54.
threw for 51,000 yards.
Here's
He
the
beat
thing-
it by
Stat check it.
He beat
And
it
this
by
goes-
45,000 yards.
This goes with
He is
Jameis
the
Winston.
6th all-time passing leader in
The
NFL
fu-
history. Now,
The
after one
funniest
season.
thing when watching their games is Jameis would be just doing Jameis things.
Yeah.
And it's like, they got to say something good about Byron Leftwich. Like, it's not his fault that he's the OC and can't work with Jameis Winston. It's like, let's say something good about Byron because it's not his fault. It's Jameis's fault. I actually like the last name.
I was,
that Sam said,
I was saving it for
because I've
last
been bringing it up every single
that's
time.
not
It's
happening.
Philip
That's your boy.
Rivers.
It's not happening.
Like, you
'Cause-
don't even trust me.
Did you
I
see?
was like,
did you
I'm
see
going
him
to.
crying in the his after the
He should
last
just
game?
retire. He
to
should just
where
retire.
he ain't coming back. They ain't bringing him back to L.A. That's
No.
what I think.
No,
He ain't gonna be a Charger.
I don't think that he's going to be Charger. I'm
He's
hoping
better
he
Jameis
retires.
Winston and better Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He's so much better.
I just think
he's
he's-
one of the most gifted throwers of our time.
I just think, but he also turns the ball over.
oh, yeah, he's got that.
I just think that he's going to be too expensive. I think the most realistic one on that list is Case Keenum. Going to be cheap. He's going to be, because you just extended Eddie Jackson, and you still have, to bring back one of the linebackers, whether it be Kwiatkowski or Trevathan.
Right.
You're probably going to look to re-sign Allen Robinson as well.
yeah, we're going to see what that
You
deal's
need
going
to
look
address
like.
the offensive line. If you help Mitch out with the offensive line, your play callers make a better, scheme a better game plan for him.
Makes
and
the job
also you have a
easier.
better run game that is actually blocking everybody that's going to be coming in.
Yeah.
Maybe you can actually move the ball on offense. I don't think the quarterback bringing in Philip Rivers is automatically going to change things. But if you don't change the scheme, you don't change the offensive line, it will make it better. But at what price and how much is that going to hurt the defense? I think Case Keenum is the most realistic, most unrealistic one. Is probably, unfortunately, Philip Rivers, just because of how much he will demand on the open market.
One name that I don't think is gonna be a Bear quarterback, but I gotta throw him out anyways. If you can get him cheap enough, let's say not many teams want to throw him money, do you bring in Andy Dalton to be competition for Mitch?
Ugh,
I think Dalton. I should
don't-
probably talk. I think Dalton's
I don't know.
probably second most realistic. I don't hate it. I just don't love it. But
'Cause,
I don't
like,
hate
he's-
it. He's shown
'cause
before
what-
with good weapons and a good offensive scheme
Bingo.
that he can produce.
It's like, what did you expect him to do when AJ Green was always hurt?
Hey, what did you think he was going to do when
He had
Marvin Lewis?
John
beat us?
Ross
Auden
and
Tate.
oh god, what's
Auden
the other
Tate.
young guy?
He had
two good young wide
Brandon LaFell.
receivers.
He had Mohamed Sanu. He had Marvin
TJ
Jones.
Was he there with TJ Hujamama?
No, but he had AJ Green.
But he
had
literally can't win in the playoffs. He's got
The
Okay,
Bengals can't
but
win
also
the
he was
playoffs.
coached by Marvin Lewis, and he didn't have this defense.
the Bengals defense
Was
for
not
years
the Bears'
was
defense.
for years was like we have the most most first round players on our defense, which I know doesn't make
And
them
Vontaze
good,
perfect.
but they had a very good defense for many years, and it didn't matter. That team couldn't move the ball in the playoffs. It was Andy Dalton's anemic offense, and it was year over year
But also,
over year.
Andy Dalton isn't calling the plays, and if not everything's on Andy Dalton for in the playoffs.
No,
if you give
but
him,
it's a
if you give
guarantee
him,
that Andy Dalton in the playoffs is going to lose a game.
I don't know if that's
It's
true.
facts.
He is okay. All right, Dave. Andy Dalton.
You're
cannot
looking
win.
up things, and I'm just watching our stream, just
Andy Dalton,
slow-mo.
Yeah, Andy Dalton is 0 for 3, or 0 for 4 in the playoffs, right? But apparently that's all on Andy Dalton because when you go, all right, well these numbers aren't great. Highest quarterback rating is 67. I don't remember how bad he was. He also got sacked 12 times in 4 games.
He deserved all of them.
I don't know. I don't think he had that great of it. I don't think he had the best opportunity. I'll say that.
He bad at playoff. He bad at playoff.
Okay,
That's where I'm going to Jameis Winston that sentence.
All right. Well,
He bad at playoff.
Who on that list is good at playoff? Philip Rivers. Oh yeah, massive succeeder in playoff. Guy is always in a
Case Keenum, he's
guy's
a
always
guy.
he is always in a 2-minute drill.
But he always gets you
Philip
the
Rivers had-
opportunity to
Philip-
win.
Philip
You're
Rivers-
always in the running. Like that's the thing with him. He's going to compete.
How many playoff games has Philip Rivers won?
I can't even
I
tell
would
you
be
that.
shocked
Answer.
if
He's
it's
been in the
over
league
6.
for as long as Eli Manning. I
I'd
couldn't tell
be
you.
shocked if it's over 6.
But like we've watched his kickers choke, which familiar feeling, for years.
Yeah.
We've watched like things just it falls short. His
the
best
number one-
weapon was a tight end.
He had the number 1 defense and
He had
number 1
LaDainian
offense one year,
Tomlinson.
2009, and didn't even make the
Dude,
playoffs.
the LT. Oof. Anyway, I think Philip Rivers puts you in the area to compete for a championship with this defense. because he can always get the offense down the field. It's just a matter of, like you said, is that crucial turnover going to kill you? It's a matter of time.
The question isn't which one's the best; it's which one's the most realistic. I think he's unrealistic because of how much he's going to make.
Yeah.
If you're saying which one of those guys do I want, I obviously want Phillip fucking Rivers because he's the best quarterback on the list.
Yep.
I'm going to take Case Keenum because I just like the guy's grit.
I'm going to just pivot and say, I don't think we get any of these guys.
Daltons are 4-6 in the playoffs.
Who is?
The Chargers under Phillip Rivers.
4-6.
Hey.
4 wins.
And he made it to the AFC
That's 10
Championship once and the second round once.
His ass beaten by
10
Tom
playoff
Brady
games.
in San Diego.
Yeah. Shocker.
Lost the champion.
Yeah.
Le champion.
That's as good as you get.
14-2.
That's as good as you get. I'm thinking this team is going to sign a third-tier quarterback in free agency and draft a quarterback.
Are we not on the third tier if we're touching Ryan Fitzpatrick? What is third tier?
No, Ryan Fitzpatrick can win games. I'm talking about it like
5-7. I forgot 1 year.
another
5-7.
another career backup kind of player. Like in that vein, I'm not saying as bad as our current situation, previous situation was, but someone who definitely doesn't deserve to start games in the NFL. But he's good enough to cover base for 3 weeks when Mitch inevitably gets hurt.
Here's the thing. If that happens, day 5 of NFL free agency, that means they're picking up the option if they haven't already. Because they believe in Mitch Trubisky.
But
that's what it would signal to me.
My
We're talking
thought
about
is-
action speaking louder than words. If they go out and sign another Chase fucking Daniel, they mean they believe in Mitch Trubisky. And that means Mitch Trubisky is your 2020 starter. We have the answer to the question. And I'd be pissed off if that was the fact.
What if they signed Eli Manning?
No. Please make it. And that was a great segment up until Eli Manning happened.
Second tier. Happy birthday. It's his birthday today.
Hey.
Happy 39th to Eli Manning.
Yikes. He did not age well for football. No, I seriously think that we're going to sign someone in that same vein, and I hope that we draft a quarterback this year.
Yeah,
I think it's a must.
We have 2 second-round picks.
Draft quarterback round.
One of them needs to be a quarterback.
So I think that's the way this one is going to end. Ricky, if you had to take one of the, or
Phillip Rivers.
either you're just saying Rivers, cost be damned.
He's my boy.
Throw him $15 million.
Yep, he's my
20
boy.
million.
He's my boy.
25.
He'd be better than Mitch.
Woo!
$35 million? Guaranteed? I would say most realistic is Case Keenum. I think most unrealistic is Phillip Rivers.
All right. But you're still on the plan. If they do make a judgment call to go with someone who can sit on the bench, clipboard holder, we have to take a quarterback in round 2.
I think signing Case Keenum.
You still feeling?
Still second round pick.
Okay.
Absolutely. Bring competition in.
Ricky?
You should. Brian Pace said when he was first GM that he was going to pick a quarterback. He's going to bring a new quarterback in every single year.
Yeah,
he stopped that
He
after
lied.
he did Brian Mitch Trubisky. You need to do that.
He also, didn't scout the other quarterbacks in the class,
No.
notoriously. So,
He has a very bad record with QBs.
Yep.
So take some shots, kid.
all right, Ricky.
Jalen Hurts. He's going to be a Bear. It's going to be a Bear in the
I wouldn't
second
be
round.
upset.
Samesies. Let us know what you guys think the situation of the Bears will unroll as if Mitch is going to be the guy for 16 games in 2020, or if we're going to be looking at a fresh name or a drafted player from this year's upcoming draft, which I'm excited. We're going to talk about that eventually this year. But let's move into our final topic of the day. It's the Bulls.
Boss.
And we've been in this room for 5 hours.
Yeah, you can tell Dave's really losing the steam.
I've yawned like 8 times, and I feel really bad
Come on,
about
let's
it.
talk about the Bulls.
It's Bulls time, and I'm excited
What are they,
again.
13-21? 13-22?
I've lost track.
Competing
think
for the playoffs, that's what we are.
13-22. Yeah, you're somehow beating the playoffs.
Wikis.
You're like ninth.
Wikis.
Hashtag Wikis.
You guys are
at the top.
13-22. I think the Hawks are like 7-28, and they're 15. You guys are somehow like 2 games away from being in the playoffs rather than being in.
Exactly.
You guys have like 5 more wins than the team that's worse in the NBA, but you're somehow 2 games back in the playoffs.
And that is the wonders of the NBA. And part of the fun with the Bulls this season has been the interesting rotations to take away. The fact that, our young star in Lauri Markkanen is getting less minutes than
Bust.
Thad Young, who is openly complaining about, hey, I'd like to, maybe play the game. We talked a little bit before I signed my contract. I was supposed to continue on this certain path, and you guys seem to be cutting my minutes and my opportunities on the court and my role as a veteran on this team. I feel like I've got a lot to contribute. Meanwhile, Lowry, quietly, I think, had a really good month, which not a lot of people, want to give him credit for. He started off so poorly after that one epic opener that people are like, well, he's a bust, like Sean over here. Lack of faith.
After what?
Your lack of faith in Lowry calling him a bust. And I'm saying
after the opener,
he had
great.
the opener. No, that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Epic opener, and then
I
he
gotcha.
fell off the face of
Sorry,
this. But
I
this
misheard
last month, he actually had a really good month. Good shooting splits, solid numbers. Not the aggressive Lowry that we want to see.
No.
Still not where he should be, but passable at least.
Garbage numbers.
Yeah.
Literally, I haven't seen it from him. I've not seen him be aggressive. I've not seen him be a guy that you can go to night in and night out, every single minute, every single possession, and be a guy that can dominate a game. I don't care. He could shoot 90 and 90 from the field. 90. If he had a 90-90 season, I wouldn't care if he's still playing this way.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think he's there each and every minute he plays. He doesn't hustle. He's not a guy that seems to care out there. And he'll get benched for 13 minutes, and that's on Jim Boylan. But even then, like, he'll get hot to start a game, and in the second half, he'll be like, oh, Markkanen is still playing? He's still on the floor?
Why is he? Yeah.
So he disappears, and he's not physical. He's not a guy that is aggressive enough. I still don't think he has it. So he can put up 24 a night and be great. But I literally called last time I was on Superfans that he was going to have, like, we put a bet on what his over-under was.
How many points?
It hit. It was 13.
Yeah.
So for the month of
right.
from December 2nd to January 2nd, 15 games. He put up 17.7 points per game, 6.5 boards, 1.5 assists, just under a steal a game, just under a block a game. Shooting split of 49, 41, 84. Like, you said the shooting splits don't matter, but I'm like,
They don't.
that line right there tells me that we're in the right direction. I don't disagree with your assessment of his lack of intensity, his lack of drive, and just that right mentality to take over games. It's clearly we're relying on Zach LaVine to do everything for us.
The most telling stats there
Yep.
were read off his steals and rebounds then.
0.9 steals, 0.7 blocks, and 6 rebounds a game.
7 feet tall.
Yep.
6.5 boards per game.
Yep.
That's bad.
That's
How
not
many free
good.
throws he's taken?
2.1.
Not good. That guy is going to the line pretty much. That's just taking one shot.
He's a
and getting
7-foot
fouled
shooting
and missing
guard.
it.
People just got to listen to me.
Okay, but I don't care if that's what he is, because if he is that, he is not going to make it in the NBA. You have Ryan Anderson 2.0. Congratulations.
I would argue that he's
What makes him? What separates him from Ryan Anderson then?
I hate you because this is an argument that I made before he was drafted.
Yeah, that's all he is right now.
Thanks for throwing that back.
Because he has no ability to actually be a dynamic player. He has the ability to shoot. We've known that.
Yep. He's a fantastic shooter, but he needs to be in the right offensive system to use him, and we don't have an offensive system that really fits him. Weirdly enough, defensively, he's gotten better, though. Like, that's one of the things where Ryan Anderson really was just absolutely run off the floor, and we saw the massive swings in the playoffs when Ryan Anderson touched the floor for the Rockets.
It very much helps to have Wendell Carter out there, who's been phenomenal. I love that kid.
Between Wendell, Chris
I almost gave him
Dunn,
a left boy on
Satoransky.
the fast break.
What do you obviously Dave's higher, a little happier to see this. You're happier than I am to see this past month. I still am not buying into it. What is your take as our Bulls fan, as our guy?
I mean, for this
As a
You're a
weekly
Bulls fan,
watcher.
this year, it's almost like, it's not like I'm going to move on from Lowry at the end of the year. I'm hoping that the month that we just had can continue, and let's just finish out the year strong. Like, we're in, throwing distance of the playoffs.
Yeah.
If we don't miss the playoffs, it's not, or if we don't make the playoffs, it's not like a huge dagger in our heart.
Yeah.
Let's just see if he can just keep up what he's keeping up.
Okay.
Because to me, I feel like we're in limbo until, and I know Sean has said it before, you can't put it all on the coach. I think a coaching move has to be done. Mm-hmm. And we're in limbo of the Jim Boylan era. And until he is fired, nothing's going to change. We're not going to win. We're not going to win anything. We're not going to be a champion as long as he's the coach. So it's like, that's how I feel about this team.
Yeah,
we're just in limbo.
I don't disagree with you that the coach should be fired. It's just the fact that he won't be.
No,
So
I know.
I wouldn't give
And
your
that's-
expectations up that that's even a thing.
And that's why I'm just like, we're in limbo. I'm accepting that we're in limbo.
I think Lauri Markkanen should be getting more minutes because, hey, maybe if he gets more minutes, he'll be more aggressive. He'll be more locked into the game. If you want to give him more minutes, that's fine. But obviously, that's going to be having to trade Thad Young, and that's what this topic is.
That's the flip side of this, is that Thad Young had been playing okay on a lot of nights. I think there's even a run where he was really good for us, but he's also had some moments where it just clearly sticks out like a sore thumb. And if you have an unhappy veteran in the locker room, it's not going to go well, especially on a young team. one of the things to take away is Thad Young is playing the second least minutes in his career, only averaging 0.5 more minutes a game, literally 30 seconds more a game than he did his rookie year. Since then, he's always been above 21 minutes per game. Right now he's at 21 and a half. And in the last week, his minutes basically went 22, 22, 17, 15, the last 5 games. So, yeah.
He has been on some bad teams, I will say that. I mean, he was on a really bad Brooklyn team for a while there, so there was no one else to eat minutes.
He's a good player. He's not a bad player, though. Like, that's the difference. If he was a career backup, sure. But like, he's just a really good veteran, like, period. And I feel like he's been that good, like, literally his whole career. He came in the league, he was pretty good. He was on a Sixers team. And then over his career, it was just like, this guy's he's a smart player. He knows his role. He knows how to play good defense. He knows how to play off the guys around him. I feel like everywhere he's gone, he's helped the team out. And I think the Pacers really had something nice with him down on the low post, and he was able to go out to perimeter. Like, I love that fit, and that's why I was so excited to get him. But Chicago just seems like this is the wrong place for you to be, buddy.
Yeah, he was always one of those guys, too, that you kind of had a feeling that he could stretch a little bit. When you start shooting like 30% from 3 and like 3.7 attempts, you're like, oh man, we got to stretch 4. And that was back in like 2014 or 2013 when our expectations for stretch 3s were so low.
Yeah.
But he has gotten better. But with that is, that veteran ability, his ability to play defense, his ability to shoot, he is a very valuable asset. And he obviously doesn't want to be in Chicago, so it's going to be, how can he help another NBA team? Because that's what's going to be happening. So we're looking, and I know, Ricky, you brought this up, the Clippers as a team that could be looking to add him. What are you seeing, at least trade market-wise, Thad Young to the Clippers?
It sucks. And I was going to answer Kingy's question. He asked, who trading for T. Young? It's the Clippers. Like, they're the one.
Retro right away. Hard cap snow.
Well, here's the thing I don't like. To answer your question, Sean, the thing I don't like, because I've worked out trades between the Bulls and the Clippers.
Yep.
And really, it's just a Thaddeus Young for Mo Harkless swap.
Oh, fuck no.
And what are you going to add in? And I have 2 here. I don't even like them.
Time out.
Yes. I don't even like them.
When you're saying add in, who is adding in something? Who needs to balance out the value?
The first one I have is I think the Bulls need to be getting more. And I know a lot of articles I've read have been like, well, they could do Mo Harkless and Jerome Robinson for Thaddeus Young. No. I don't want Jerome Robinson for Thaddeus Young. Like, Mo Harkless, to me, I don't even care about because he's done at the end of the year. He's off the books.
He's more important to the Clippers team than Thad Young would be.
I disagree.
It's what am I getting?
He was more important when Paul George wasn't healthy. Now that Paul George is healthy, he's not playing well, but he's still healthy. They need a 4. They need someone who can guard low post and still cover perimeter. Zubac's weak in the low post, so you need a cover.
Finisher. No.
Okay.
I know who Mo Harkless was. Thank you, though.
So go ahead.
Finish your thought.
Look on your face.
It's just we have different opinions.
The 2 that I have worked out, and I'm not even huge fans of them, is they're both based off of the Harkless for Young.
Yeah.
The first one is the Bulls would get 2 second-rounders from the Clippers, 1 this year, and then Detroit's second next year. It's an okay deal. All right, we get 2 seconds for Thad Young. I don't even know if I would feel great coming out of that. Yeah. The one I would like, but the Clippers ain't going to do this, is we'd give the Clippers Thaddeus Young and our second next year, because we don't have our second this year.
Correct.
And then we get Mo Harkless and Landry Shamet. They're not going to give up Landry Shamet, and that's what I know. But, like, that's what I would want if I'm the Bulls. Like, I don't want Jerome Robinson. I don't want a couple of seconds. Like, Landry Shamet's the only thing I'd want, and the Clippers wouldn't do it.
I think nothing for us,
I think
it seems like a Bulls move.
Truly, I think, if you're trading Thad Young, I want something. I want someone that's going to be, really, I want an eye-catching name. If we're trading with Thad Young, let's just trade for Michael Porter Jr. I want him, so we should get him.
Well, no.
That's literally what you just said about the Shamet thing.
No, but I'm saying if
I know it's just super fans, but like, come on.
No, if I feel like it's a trade, like, and I'm saying the Clippers aren't going to do it, but I don't want any of the other players that the Clippers have. I don't want them because I don't think they're going to add anything to this team, and I don't think they're going to grow into anything.
That's why you go for picks. That's why you go for something to.
But they're not. I don't think they're going to give up first round.
Right now, Thad Young isn't going to help you. Thad Young isn't helping you. So what you need is value. And it doesn't matter if you're not getting a sexy name like a Landry Shamet. If you have to get a Jerome Robinson, he helps you more because he could be something. He's a lottery
It's
pick.
a mystery
So
box.
It
could be a boat.
So literally give him 25 minutes.
So
there's no
Mo,
downside.
You suck.
Exactly.
Mo Harkless and their first-round pick for Thaddeus Young. I think that's way too over. Like,
We'd
I
have to
would
give
love
him,
it.
We'd ship him back a second for the future.
God,
I think that the Clippers would not do that. I don't think they would give up a first for Thaddeus.
So we disagree on the Harkless thing.
I think Harkless is good. I respect what he's been able to do for them. I think that Thad fits a bigger need for them, though.
I was trying to get a Iggy to Clipper thing going, and Harkless needed to be in the deal, right? And I looked at Harkless. I was like, all right, what is he adding? And I looked at his metrics, defensive rating, offensive rating, defensive block score, plus minus, all that shit.
His Raptor.
Yeah, his fucking Vorp. He's horrible. Awful advanced metrics. I was like, that's weird, right? And I start reading more about him. Like, why is his stuff this bad? And it truly came down to he's always been bad when it comes to advanced metrics, but he's never been a negative like to fans watching him. And I know that's like eye test. Like, what does that truly mean when the metrics mean stuff? But there is stuff when he's added, like his solo defensive ratings and defensive box score plus minus and all that stuff. They suck. But when you add him to certain lineups, he like unlocks them.
He's a floor raiser.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He just seems like one of those guys like a Heinrich, where like if he's on your team, you might not realize the what he truly brings to your team until he's there.
Yeah,
and I think that's where I'm kind of at that barrier with Mo Harkless trading him. Is I understand your point of now that PG-13 is healthy, that maybe they don't trade for him, or they don't need to keep him.
Yeah.
But everything that I've seen from Clipper fans, everything that I've read up, is that he really does change this team when he is out there. So that's something that I don't think Thad Young changes this team. He might add something to them, a.k.a. post defense, but I mean, so far you look at what they've gone up against post monsters, AD, really, they've been fine against AD. So I don't know if it's truly necessary, and also is Thad Young to be able to stop AD anyways? I think Mo Harkless is a guy that you got to keep around.
All right. I mean, it's an interesting conversation, and I think they both have really good skill sets that are in demand by teams competing for championships. So it's one of those situations where would the Clippers love to have him? Yes. Would they be willing to give up Mo Harkless because he's literally their only tradable piece?
To go off of...
That's a hard question.
Go off of chat, one thing, Retro agrees with you in a way, Sean. Because he says Harkless has been so good, literally guarding every position.
Yeah.
It's a downgrade. But later on, Retro mentioned that they'd give up Jerome, Mephindu, Kabengele, and then a pick or two. Here's the problem with that. I put Mephindu, Jerome Robinson, I put 2 firsts. You can say a first and a second, but that's not important. The point is, if the Clippers did that, they would still need to find $5.8 million to make up for Thaddeus's $12.9 contract.
Harkless is making 9.2. And that's what makes him such a guy that keeps being added into these trades. And that's what I was trying to make with the fast break at the end of fast break, is just that I think this is going to be a very disappointing trade season because it's so difficult to make trades happen because there's so many guys that look so appealing. Andre Iguodala, number one. He's making $18.7 million. It hurts his trade value because nobody can trade pieces. Andre Drummond, oh, wow, Celtics really need rebounding. They have to trade up Gordon Hayward to get him. Another guy, like every time you look for a trade, fucking Hassan Whiteside comes up. Because he has $27 million, he's expiring, it makes sense. But he's also helping the Trailblazers. But you're like, oh, they're going to get Nurkic back. It's so weird. Because all these guys that usually are those unlockers, right? Those unlockers, these trades, it usually doesn't end up working. Or those big pieces are so tough to move because of contract situations. So it's tough because Mo Harkless, he does add a lot for that Clippers team with what he can do defensively, but he also is making $9.2 million. That's why he keeps being put on the trade block. I don't think he's going to be ended up traded in the end unless they're truly making making an addition that's more significant than a Thad Young.
Yeah, Retro in chat brings up rather Morris, and he doesn't even want that. By the way, quick, I'm going to call it the comment section from our videos. Apparently, not everybody knows that we refer to Marcus Morris as Marooks Morris.
Yeah.
Because we're playing a game ourselves because we mistyped.
I spelled him wrong.
Yeah.
He spelled him wrong on a web boy.
MAUCS instead of MARCUS.
So we've been referring to him lovingly as Marooks Morris. And they're like, these guys don't even know who or they pronounce it Marooks. I'm like, dude, it's been going for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's not new. It's something we've been doing.
We are saying it wrong, and that would be stupid, but you're stupid because you're not thinking at all.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, they just don't know the guy.
They don't know.
They don't know that guy.
They don't know.
They don't know.
They
don't
been
know
talking
that he was
about
drafted
basketball for 8 years.
I didn't even see that
2011
comment.
NBA draft.
It was in 2 different videos. It might have been the same guy.
I'm going to find the
web
wet boy where we did that, and I'm going to
link it.
fucking link it.
They
Thank
don't
you.
even know basketball. They don't even know about the hand check. They don't know about Joe Dumars and the defense that he brought in the 90s. I used to watch the NBA Finals on tape delay, and now that they're shooting threes, I don't even watch.
Oh,
It's not even real sport.
By the way,
Yeah.
I know this ain't Chicago, but I
No,
got to bring it up
that's
here
fine.
live. 80's only got 40 against the Pelicans. No big deal.
40?
Yeah.
40.
LeBron had 8
Shooting.
assists in the first quarter.
And he's got 11 points. Now he's got 13 assists.
Yeah. Well, he sat down. Like, they didn't even,
okay.
like, he was done with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Anyway, sorry, I needed to tangent that off.
Yeah.
Those comments have been seething in me. But if they did want to go after Marooks Morris as someone who's being floated out there, I don't know if that's, again, yes, it adds offense. Yes, he
Do
can
the
play good
Bulls
defense.
trade Thaddeus Young at all? I know we kind of talked about it, but, like, do
I
we
would
move
ship
on
his
from
ass
him?
out. You don't need to. He's under contract. That's the thing. Like, this is not a deal that...
That, like, Otto's the one we need to, but he needs to get, like...
He
teams
needs to be
aren't going to
healthy
trade
enough
for
to
him.
play.
Yes,
I don't know.
exactly.
Like,
Otto can stay because guess what?
the thing is,
worst
like-
case scenario is like, I'm just going to take the 27 million.
Yeah.
I could take that next year and then wait one more.
here's the thing with Otto, too, is, like, we don't know if he's bad at basketball. He's just not healthy.
Yeah. I think
Like,
he's
that's
good.
always the big thing that Jake always
been
yells at
good.
me is that the fact, like, he's not healthy, and that's
Yeah.
what makes him bad.
Yeah.
But also when he's playing, he's good.
He's good. He's above average.
So, like,
'Cause
I would like to see, like, what the lineup would look like with KD, Zach,
Otto,
Lowry,
and Wendell.
I would
Oh
like
my
to
god, it's
see
almost
it.
like we've only seen it for like 6 games in the 2 years that they've all been together, and
I
I
don't-
fucking hate it.
I don't think moving Otto is necessary.
No, I love Otto, and my fear is that he's going to be healthy enough to play before the end of the season, and the Hawks are going to give him a max deal, and I'm going to be pissed at myself.
Do you guys want to react to some bad Bulls trades
Yes.
to end this?
Absolutely.
So, first off, you think I'm bad with the homerism?
We're gonna end this soon.
Andrew Miller of PippinAintEasy.com.
Oh, always. I love a sharp call out. Make sure you read it right because
No.
Maybe you'll get some hate on Twitter.
This is the headline of, like, I agree with you, but in no way is he signing with this team that Darren Collison, the Bulls should sign him immediately. He is not coming here. He'll go to, like, in LA.
Lakers,
He'll go to a playoff
Clippers.
team.
Well,
Like, that's an article where I looked
But
at
here's
it.
the thing: I don't want to read the headline, just the headline, because he might end up mentioning it in the article. But
Yeah.
literally, the whole joke is that there was a tweet from Woj, like June 23rd, that the Bulls are interested in signing Darren Collison, and then he retired. So literally, the Bulls were interested, and he retired because the Bulls were interested.
Yeah.
And then he came back, and when Woj tweeted out, he said he's interested in unretiring. He wants to go to the Lakers or the Clippers. There's a reason why that was put out
Okay.
there. He's
Yep.
going to Western Conference team.
I saw that and I was like,
but
he's not signing here.
Counts. I don't want to bash
Yeah.
him too much because he might mention
He
that in the
probably,
article.
yeah.
So these are 3 bold trade ideas. This is from our favorite website, thewindycity.com.
Windy City.
Windy
3 bold trade ideas for the Bulls this year.
Yep.
The first one,
Who's it by? No,
is-
who's it by? Come on.
who's it by?
Who's it by?
The writer of this article is Ryan Heckman. This is
All right.
2 days old. The first deal is with the T-Wolves.
Let's see what we got.
We are sending Lauri Markkanen,
Uh-huh.
Thaddeus Young,
Yep.
Okay.
Tomas Sadaransky,
Okay. Our
and
starting lineup.
2 first-round picks for Karl Anthony Towns.
If you made that 4 first-round picks, they might be listening.
Well, I mean, Lowry is a first-round
Nope.
pick, technically.
4 first-round picks.
The next one is a straight-up deal with the New York Knicks.
Hey, no. I need Sean to react to this cat deal.
I want to hear all.
Because
I want to hear all.
Cat's his boy.
There's no. Give me the other one. Give me the
Okay.
other one. Let's see.
This is with the Knicks.
Nope.
The Bulls are giving up Chris Dunn, straight-up deal, for Dennis
No!
Smith Jr.
Your mic. My mic went off. I'm so.
I didn't make the
I turned
deal.
off my own mic out of anger.
Give me the last one. Give me the last one. Give me the last one.
And the last one is with the Clippers. The Clippers get Thaddeus Young and Chris Dunn for Patrick Beverly and Jermichael Green.
We want to thank you for listening to Superfans. I didn't know bold meant stupid.
I agree with none of those.
What fucking world do you live in?
They're not mine.
I know. I know. That's why I wanted you to credit the author.
The way you talk is like the Ricky came up
Ryan,
with
I bet you're a nice guy in person. You know, I bet we could chat. You know,
I don't understand the value you're assessing to the players because I think there's some we're seeing different things.
Why would the Clippers trade Patrick Beverly?
I mean,
But they're getting Thaddeus Young,
He's not putting the ball in the buckets.
It's bold. That's why. It's bold, baby.
Retro, yeah, that's dumb.
Bold.
Dumb AF.
Who is the other person? Pat Bevan, who?
Pat Bevan, Jermichael Green.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Michael Green's decent. Like, he's literally just that young. He's just worse at defending
he's
the
bad,
post.
He's bad, Thad Young. He's like technically.
They also get Chris Dunn.
Hang on.
So
is Jermichael
Chris
Green
Dunn is
bad,
like-
Thad Young, or good? Who's that guy who just got cut by the Jazz?
Jeff Green.
Jeff Green.
He's better Jeff Green. He's he's scrappier Jeff Green. Slightly worse Thad Young. Yeah.
Scrappy with them
Jeff
taken
Green.
away from
Because
this is Jermichael Green's
Green-
true core.
Jeff Green's more talented of the three,
Yes.
but he plays less defense and has just not lived up to his potential because he could drop 40. He was like
Yeah.
LeBron.
He was
2.0.
LeBron Jr., yeah.
He was like worse LeBron.
Yeah.
This is what I don't like about trade articles,
Yeah.
some of them. This is right at the end, after you read all three of them. All three of these deals might be unlikely.
Might?
Then don't write it.
The Dennis
if it's
Smith
not
Jr. one
likely,
pisses me
I
off
don't
a
want
lot
to see it.
because Dennis Smith Jr. is
no.
in the G League.
All three, no. You
And
should
Chris
read the
Dunn's
whole
like
thing.
leading the league in steals.
All three of these deals might be unlikely, but personally, I think teams should explore some bold options. They're not bold, Hackman. They're not bold. They're stupid because those deals aren't logical. Why would the T-Wolves trade Karl-Anthony Towns on 4 years of control for Lauri Markkanen, Thomas Satoransky, and who else?
I think it wasn't Chris. It wasn't Chris Dunn.
Give me the last name. 2 first-round picks.
Only 2.
Thad Young.
That young.
So Marketing, Young,
You're trading.
and Satoransky and 2
You
firsts.
made
That's
me
what they
get one starter. One starter for the next 5 years. Because Sato is probably gone at the end of his contract. Same with Thad Young. You are getting maybe a starter in Lauri Markkanen and 2 picks to trade your franchise player. Hey, Ryan, buddy, might be a good guy.
You want to hear an understatement?
I've been working. I've been at work since.
no.
I've been at work since 12 hours. No, I've been at work for 12 fucking hours. Buddy, if that was an option, they would have explored it. They probably proposed it, brother. That's not bold. That's stupid.
Here's the best part. Right after the trade, it says, this is probably the boldest of them all.
That's bold, baby. Hey, man.
Plus-
It's bold going out and getting Karl-Anthony Towns. No, it's just a smart move. It's just a smart move. And if you're just trading your trash to get Karl-Anthony Towns, that's awesome. Hey, Dave, I have fucking 4 pennies in my little cup holder. You want to trade cars?
Yep, let's do it.
What
Let's
is
do it.
wrong with
Let's do
you?
it.
What is wrong?
Hang on.
Roger sent the clip. Yeah,
That is it.
Sean, I mean, why would they even want Lauri Markkanen when they have a better version of him on the bench?
Traded him.
On the bench.
No, Naz Reid.
Naz Reid. Did you see him pop off?
Yes, he is so fucking good.
I was gonna wait and be
telling
like,
you.
is he gonna get a wet boy over
He's
MPJ?
so good. No.
I should have given him a
I
wet
love
boy
Naz
just
Reid,
so
man.
I could take the first wet boy.
I
for
love
Naz
Naz
Reid.
Reid. And
He played up.
But literally, like, you are trading someone that they gave up Lauri Markkanen. They could have had Lauri Markkanen. And they said, no, we want Jimmy Butler, who's good at basketball. Like, how does that help the T-Wolves? Makes them a worse team.
I have no words
Fucking
for you.
Damn it. Joe Cowley is right. Bloggers should be stopped.
Who?
Bloggers.
No, who said
Joe Cowley,
Okay.
the Sun-Times. Bloggers need to be stopped.
I like Jake. Get him, Sean.
We're gonna end this
It's-
on passion.
God, what was the... No, give me the second one.
the
Give me
second one that
Give me
was Chris Dunn for DSJ.
Oh, yeah.
One of the best defensive players
That
in the
was
league
the
for the
one-
guy who's in the G League. right?
That was
That's
the
a
one
fair
Dave
deal,
was
right?
upset on.
I can't
Who
even.
does that help? Why does it help? What is the thought process there? They're guards.
DSJ is athletic.
Oh,
That's what he's got.
you know what?
He's athletic.
You know what I like? I like taking something that I need, right? I have 2 guards, right? I have 2 guards. I technically have 3 guards.
Does it make you appreciate what you got here? That I'm not that.
I so much appreciate. I have Dan Snyder saying Happy Thanksgiving on New Year's. Thankful for you. I have 3 guards, right? I have the guy that can play defense. I have the guy that can score, and then I have the athletic guy, right? At best, I'm at least pairing the defensive guy and the guy that can score. What I don't want to do is trade the guy that can play defense and the only guard that can play defense and cover up both the other 2 guys to trade and then make the legitimately the worst defensive backcourt in the NBA.
Trey Young plus whoever might beat that. I'm just saying.
Jake said straight up, baby.
Maybe. That is straight up. Straight up, that's
baby.
straight up garbage. Shout out Ryan Hackman. I am personally being too mean to him, and Ryan Hackman's probably going to be a superstar one day. Oh, Hackman?
H-E-K.
Okay.
You can't call him a hack.
I can't call him a hack. But that's one heck of an article right there. No, but that kid might be a superstar one day. Shout out to Heckman. But man, ooh boy, that's some bad trades. Those are bold, baby.
Those are bold. Wow.
I wonder how long it made him to write that bold article.
Sean. Thad Young, will he be a Bull by the day after the trade deadline?
Cares?
No.
This team sucks.
No.
February
getting
6th,
traded.
this team's gonna suck. February 7th, this team's still gonna fucking suck. That's bold, baby.
Sean Hayton, as always. I'm going to say we're going to compete for the playoffs. I don't think he gets
You
moved.
compete in the playoffs because someone fucking else competing. It's like they're giving it to you. The Knicks
Exactly.
might jump you. They're 6-4 in their last 10.
Sean,
I think they're on
glass
a
half
3-game
full.
win streak.
Glass half full. Ricky, Thad Young, on team, or does he get moved?
He gonna be gone.
He could be gone.
He gonna be gone.
Do you have any wild calls?
Nope, just gonna be
Carl
gone.
Anthony Towns gonna be traded. Shit.
Anthony Davis, Bull next year.
We're going to trade him to the...
Hey,
Ooh, actually, if I'm tossing a hot
Ricky,
call here, he's going to the Heat.
pull up trade NBA.net real quick.
Yeah.
We're going to get James Johnson and a second rounder and
Trade
be
machine?
happy with it.
Yeah, pull up Lakers.
Okay.
Or maybe we get
Pull
Waiters.
up Bulls.
Uh-oh.
I'm coming up with a bold trade idea. Yeah, that one. And then the guy on top there. The other side. No, the other one. No. Yeah, that one. Yep. And then add Thad Young. Yeah, and then you add like 2 picks. Add 2 picks to that one. Yeah, add 2 first rounders. Will be nice. Yeah, there you go.
Will be nice.
There you go. All right, and hit try trade. Bold, baby. Otto Porter Jr., Thad Young, and 2 firsts for LeBron. Bold. Someone, hey, get Paxson on the line. Let's make a bold trade right now. End this fucking podcast.
Oh, God.
The Bulls will actually save
Damn
money
it.
with that.
This is what happens
We'd
when you're in a
save
room
$3
with people
million.
for 6 hours and you...
We become assholes.
It's
to
also
people.
midnight, and like I've been up since 5 a.m. Sean's been up since I don't even want to know.
No.
Ricky, you just been fucking worrying, getting this all prepped, doing all the work behind the scenes for this first episode of Live
Jake,
Superfans.
It was live, and I think I regret a lot of the things I said.
Jake, what the fuck is happening?
In case you didn't know, as of Jan 1, a couple days ago, medical marijuana, not the only marijuana you can get in Illinois.
Oh, okay.
That's mine to answer some questions in this room. No, I'm just fucking. No, thank you guys so much for joining us. A shout out to Retro, John, Jake, Sam, keeping us company in Twitch. This entire time we've been live on Twitch for Superfans. We've been live on Twitch for the fast break before this.
What, 8 o'clock?
Basically just living on Twitch right now and pumping out the content for you. Thanks so much. Let us know if you guys loved it. Let us know if you guys hated it. Let us know all these great articles. I hope you include these links in the YouTube video so that way people in the comments can see it.
Well, duh, they got it.
Well, duh.
I just started following
Duh,
Ryan Heckman on Twitter.
Sean's gonna take this way too far. That's
Remember last time you got called out?
Because I feel bad.
He's preemptively
That I was
like
that
apologizing. apologizing. That's Sean Anderson. Over there's Ricky Widmer. I've been Dave Oster. We'll catch you next time.